Welcome back, my Duelist friends. I know this one isn't really exactly like a how to play series portion, but I've been asked a question that's actually very good and definitely worth answering. So let me adjust that real quick. I wanted to make a quick video to show you guys how to maybe straighten out your cards, because one of the things that happens when we get these foils is they like to curve. So there's a couple of things just to try to avoid this in the first place. And again, this one's very mild, which is why I chose this copy today. But there's more than a few ways for us to actually go ahead, get this card straightened out. And it should be all materials that you probably already have laying around. So first things first, how do we stop it from happening in the first place? Well, the way that the foil is in these cards, and I don't know how many of you guys have actually taken apart a card before, but there's a thin layer of foil that actually goes underneath all of the inking here. And what ends up happening is during extremes of heat or cold, we will start to see them bend and warp a little bit. So a couple of things that you can do, and Ultra Pro makes a lot of great stuff. The first method I'm going to show you just involves using a top loader. And I know that sounds silly. How is the top loader going to help? Well, it's actually very rigid support. So that's good. You could use the regular Ultra Pro sleeves. I do find that cards in a sleeve almost have that insulation layer, something about the way that they make these. It keeps them better longer. But sometimes we do have to straighten them out. So a good budget thing to do is go down to your locals or your hobby shop, even if they're just selling sports cards. Ultra Pro makes sleeves for everything. And I get these, they generally call these penny sleeves, because you can get almost this whole pack. It's usually about 100 cards, sleeves. Yeah, there it is. They tell you, it's acid-free, no PVC. This is a good thing because, again, they take steps to ensure that there's not going to be anything corrosive in the material, so it's not going to deteriorate the card or do anything adverse to it. But these are very good. Now, these are very flimsy. And if you guys have ever bought cards online, some sellers will use these in combination with the top loaders, and that's actually what we're going to do today. So, as you can see, very, very thin. And again, clear. So what I do is I just go ahead and I find myself a stack of commons. Doesn't need to be anything specific. This is just some stuff from the last box opening that's still sitting on the table. And if you're confident with how well you can do things without damaging the edges and stuff, and again, this is why I tend to use commons a lot, I will actually take the bent card, and I'll sandwich it, about 4 cards on each side of it. And I lost my sleeve because they're just super clear. And you can pack this as full as you can. You're going to need some more there. But when you're using the top loader, about 9 cards is about what you're going to be able to get into there. So you want to pinch the top here and just gently ease that in. And if you apply some inward pressure with your thumb and index, you will be able to just kind of pulse that in there. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a little more rigidity and give structure to the whole thing. And over about the course of a week, this type of pressure is actually going to straighten out the card. More importantly, another thing that you can do, if this isn't maybe what you want to do or you don't have any top loaders, you could do this with any type of sleeve. So I'll show you again. We'll put the penny sleeve away. And we'll grab out that Ultra Pro sleeve that ran away. And again, we're just going to go 5 cards this time. Because again, these are a little tighter fit, but these are supposed to be. Remember, this is how you're protecting your investments. And again, you just kind of want to edge that in there gently. I know that this camera is not the best. And again, I'm just trying to apply a nice even force across the pad of my finger while holding the sleeve in place. And again, what this is going to do is it's going to apply pressure from all sides evenly. And again, any of the cards that are going to get damaged are usually going to be the outer cards, which is why I'm using some commons that I didn't really need. And again, we're just going to do that. Now, you could always, if you've got a nice bookcase, got a nice heavy set of books, just real quick, we're going to do this. Okay, you see all those boxes? You can go ahead and you could actually place this underneath the box. Again, you kind of want to center the weight as best as possible, so this way it'll just go ahead and press down. And you could do multiple cards at a time. You don't have to just use one sleeve and do one card at a time with this. You could go 3 cards into a sleeve and apply the direct pressure. You could use the penny sleeves. I've gotten upwards of almost 15 cards in one of these before. I don't recommend that if you're trying to keep collector's value. But when I deal with like just general bulk common and stuff, that's something I do. And then what you want to do when you go to get this out, you want to leave yourself just a little bit of room so you can kind of get your fingernail in there. And you just kind of want to wiggle this back and forth. And again, this is why we've got the commons on both sides. You're going to wiggle that just a little bit until you see this start to poke out. Let's see if you can catch the glare, and you see that there's just a little bit of it there. And then you're just going to go ahead and gently pull that out. And over the course of me doing this, the curve is lesser. It's not perfect. Again, I give it about a week of actual press time. And again, just a couple of heavy books, a good protective sleeve. Again, I use Ultra Pros a lot. They're good, they're affordable, and I've been using them for, when I got into gaming seriously, right around 2000. So it's been about 21 years I've been with this product. And again, I'm not sponsored by them yet. That might happen someday. They did not pay for me to say their name. They didn't pay for me to keep showing this. But it's definitely a product I trust, and I have trusted. Again, I mean, 20 years and never really damaging my cards. It's no wonder a majority of my collection for all my games is sleeved up with them. Again, they do sell like standard size cards if you're playing something like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon TCG, Digimon CCG. If you got into some of the older card games that use the standard size cards, Dragon Ball Z had about 4 or 5 games at this point. Super's a thing. Just whatever. But that is a great way to help take care of these. Another thing, if you guys end up seeing like you get little smudges and little watermarks on these, you may not want to do this. It's something I've done. You can take like a small cap, like a water bottle cap, put a little bit of water in there, and then take a Q-tip. Just barely get that damp. You can actually sort of erase it and then come back with the dry side to dry it real quick. It can minimize the effects of fingerprints and watermarks or whatever other type of surface debris gets on the card. So that's another thing that you guys can do to go ahead and take care of your investments. Because I know to some people, like this is actually a job for you guys. And you got to protect what you put into it. Not everybody has the means or the ability to just go ahead and say, they're just fun for me, so I just it doesn't matter. We've come a long way from just holding cards rubber banded in our pockets. I do hope that this has helped at least one person out there. If I take a quick second, I'll let you know the name of the viewer who actually asked me this, because I think that this is kind of important. And that would be InFocus. Sorry about that. I got smudge on my InFocus Speed Gameplay. So yeah, you can fix it. It does take some time. Again, if you have a more temperature controlled room, you can obviously you can handle it better, because again, the foils are the ones that'll curl the most. And again, if this helped you guys, consider a subscription if you're not already. Let your friends know about the channel. If you guys have some friends who maybe have experienced this problem, let them know for sure. And you guys have an excellent day. I will see you guys on the next video, all right? Peace.